The world is loud, but your calling is louder. Every day, voices compete for your attention. Social media, opinions, news, fear, doubt, failure, comparison, all of it screaming at you, pulling you in every direction, convincing you that you're not enough, that you're behind, that someone else has already taken what could have been yours. The world is designed to distract you, to make you believe that the outside noise is more real than the inner voice. But deep within you, there is a whisper, a calling, a seed of purpose that was planted long before the world tried to drown it out. That voice doesn't shout, it doesn't beg, it waits for you to quiet the chaos and return to your source. That voice is the truth of who you really are and what you're meant to become. The reason the world seems so loud is because the enemy wants to pull your focus away from your calling. You weren't born to follow trends. You weren't created to fit in with every crowd. You were set apart, called to rise, not to blend. The enemy knows that if you ever focused on what's inside you instead of what's around you, you'd become unstoppable. He knows that if you stopped listening to what everyone else thinks and started listening to the purpose placed inside your spirit, everything would begin to shift. That's why the distractions are so constant. That's why the world wants you scrolling, comparing, doubting, overthinking, hesitating. But here's the truth. Your calling is louder than all of it. You've just forgotten how to hear it. The noise around you has become so normal you've accepted it as part of your identity. But it's not. The doubts, the delays, the disbelief, it's not you. You were never meant to live in confusion. You were made for clarity. You were never meant to stay stuck in the crowd. You were born to walk boldly through the storm. And you will, when you stop chasing noise and start honoring the voice, that voice inside you doesn't come from popularity. It comes from purpose. It's not looking for permission. It's not trying to go viral. It's trying to awaken you. And when you finally hear it, really hear it, something changes. You stop comparing. You stop complaining. You stop waiting. You begin to build, to work, to rise, even when no one's watching, even when no one claps, even when no one believes, because your focus isn't on the crowd anymore. It's on your calling. And when you focus on that, you discover that what's inside you is far louder, far stronger, far more powerful than anything the world could ever shout at you. So choose to turn the volume down on the world. Choose to disconnect from everything that confuses your spirit. Turn your phone off if you have to. Step away from the noise. Go where you can hear again. Go where the truth still whispers. Go where your spirit comes alive. And listen, because your calling is speaking. Your future is calling. And it's louder than the lies. Louder than the fear. Louder than the world. Let me know if you'd like the other Keynotes Expanded F or Need A based on this one. Your journey is between you and God alone. It's not a group project, not a public poll, and definitely not something to be measured against anyone else's progress. What you are walking through, fighting through, surviving through, it's yours, tailored for you, designed with your growth in mind. Yet the world has convinced us that our progress only matters when it's visible, when it's praised, when it looks like someone else's highlight reel. But heaven doesn't measure growth by applause. It measures it by obedience, by the steps you take when no one's watching. by the tears you cry in silence, by the courage it takes to keep going when no one is cheering you on. That's where destiny is forged. When you compare your timeline to others, you rob yourself of your own testimony. You start questioning the process. Why is it taking me so long? Why don't I have what they have? Why is their door open and mine still shut? But the truth is, your door was never meant to be opened with their key. Your breakthrough isn't late. It's on schedule. Just because it doesn't look like theirs doesn't mean it isn't divine. The same God who led them will lead you, but your path won't look the same because your purpose isn't the same. He doesn't repeat miracles. He custom builds them. You must stop asking others for directions to a place God only told you about. Not everyone will understand your vision. Not everyone will support your steps. Not everyone is supposed to, because it's not their journey, it's yours. And the longer you spend trying to explain your calling to those who weren't called, the more time you waste walking in circles. This isn't about them, it's about you. You and the one who called you. You and the one who sees you when no one else does, who watches every move, hears every prayer, and knows exactly where you are, even when you feel lost. This journey will take you through lonely places, silent seasons, uncomfortable stretching, but all of it is preparation. You can't carry greatness if you haven't been tested in stillness. You can't lead others if you haven't first followed in faith. And you can't walk in power if you're still craving people's approval. God doesn't elevate those who compare. He elevates those who commit. He's not asking you to be perfect. He's asking you to be faithful. Faithful to the call, faithful to the process, faithful to keep showing up even when it feels like nothing is happening, because something is happening. Growth doesn't always look like movement. Sometimes it looks like roots going deeper so you can rise higher. So stop running someone else's race. Stop copying someone else's path. Their journey won't lead you to your purpose. Stay in your lane. Stay planted in your process. You may not be there yet, but you are not where you used to be, and that's victory. Step by step, day by day, one private victory at a time. Keep your eyes on God. Keep your heart pure. Keep your focus forward, because this journey is sacred. It's not always visible, but it is always valuable. Refinement comes through isolation. There are seasons in life where everything seems to fall silent, when friends disappear, doors close, and answers don't come. At first it feels like rejection, like abandonment, like you've been left behind. But in truth, it's divine strategy. Because what looks like isolation is often preparation. The quiet places are where God does His deepest work, not on stages, not in the spotlight, but in the shadows, where the noise fades and the soul is still. That's where the fire of refinement burns. That's where character is forged. That's where greatness is born. We're so used to constant validation, to having people around us cheering us on, liking our posts, confirming our direction. But when God is preparing you for something greater, He removes the distraction. He silences the crowds. He separates you, not to punish you, but to purify you. Because not everyone can go where you're going. Not everyone is qualified to speak into your process. And not every voice deserves your attention in the season where God is rebuilding you. The truth is, isolation is uncomfortable. It strips you. It exposes what's real and what's fake. It reveals the habits that need to die, the wounds you never healed, the pride you didn't know you had. But it's in this place that you finally start to hear again, not the opinions of others, but the voice of your Creator. When the world is quiet, the Spirit gets louder, and He begins to refine your motives, align your vision, strengthen your resolve. Just like gold is refined in fire, your spirit is refined in solitude. There's no shortcut through this, no fast track to power, anointing, or destiny. Even Jesus went into the wilderness before stepping into His calling. Even David was alone in the field before he was crowned king. The wilderness isn't where dreams die. It's where they are born. It's where identity is solidified and where dependency on God becomes your foundation, not just your backup plan. In isolation, you learn to stop performing and start transforming. You don't have to impress anyone. You just have to be honest with yourself and with God. You start to see your weaknesses, your strengths, your calling more clearly. And most of all, you realize that if God is all you have, He is more than enough. So don't despise the lonely seasons. Don't try to escape them too quickly. Embrace the silence. Let the process do its work. Let the fire refine you, not destroy you. Because when you emerge from this season, you won't be the same. You'll be stronger, wiser, sharper, more focused. You'll carry something that can't be faked. Authentic power, tested faith, and a refined spirit. Let me know if you'd like to expand the next keynote or turn this into a mini FF for your channel. Victory begins with discipline. Before the world ever sees you win, you have to win in secret. Before the spotlight, there must be surrender. Before the celebration, there must be consistency. Discipline isn't glamorous. It doesn't get applause. It doesn't go viral, but it is the foundation of every lasting victory. Without it, dreams remain dreams. With it, dreams become destiny. Many want to succeed, but few are willing to submit to the process. Everyone loves the outcome. Very few love the grind. But success doesn't start when you arrive. It starts when you decide. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. It's waking up early when your flesh wants to sleep in. It's praying when your mind is overwhelmed. It's staying focused when distractions come knocking. Discipline means choosing purpose over pleasure, vision over comfort, future over feelings. Feelings change, but purpose remains. And those who live by feelings will always fall short of what they were called to become. In a world chasing instant gratification, discipline is the narrow road. It's the path most won't choose, but it's the one that leads to true fulfillment. It's not about being perfect, it's about being consistent. You may fall, but you rise again. You may fail, but you learn and continue. Discipline isn't about never missing, it's about never quitting. You show up day after day, trusting that what you're building in private will someday become visible in public. Real discipline is spiritual. It's not just about habits, it's about honor. You honor the calling God gave you by preparing for it. You honor the dream by being faithful when it's still small. You honor your future by shaping your present. Every rep you do when no one's watching, every hour you choose to walk away from compromise, it's all a form of worship. It's your way of saying, I believe in what's coming, so I'm preparing now. God doesn't bless laziness, He blesses faithfulness. And discipline is faith in action. It's saying, even though I don't see the results yet, I'm planting the seeds anyway. It's saying, even though no one's clapping, I'm still clapping for myself. Because discipline is doing it until the doors open, until the results show, until the breakthrough comes. And when it comes, it won't surprise you because you trained for it. You were ready. You built it one decision at a time. So if you want victory, don't chase applause, build discipline. Don't wait for motivation, create momentum. The battlefield is won long before the war is ever seen, and the true winners aren't the loudest, they're the most consistent. Every great calling starts in secret, and every true victory begins with the decision to keep going. Destiny is not crowdsourced. You don't need a majority vote to walk into your purpose. You don't need permission from people who never saw your vision. What you carry inside you wasn't placed there by man, so it can't be validated by man. We live in a world addicted to approval, likes, comments, followers, shares, and slowly we start to believe that unless the world confirms our worth, it doesn't exist. But destiny doesn't work like that. It's not built on popularity. It's built on obedience. God didn't call you to fit in. He called you to stand out. He didn't give you your dream so others could approve of it. He gave it to you because He trusted you to walk it out, even if you walk it alone. Crowds come and go, opinions change with the wind, but the calling of God is consistent even when people are not. If you wait for everyone to agree with your steps, you'll never take them. If you wait for applause before you act, you'll die with your dream still inside you. You have to stop seeking external confirmation for an internal assignment. Some of the greatest moves of God start in the silence, with no audience, no claps, and no support. And that's how it should be, because if the crowd builds it, the crowd can break it. But when God builds it, no man can take it down. The more you depend on public opinion, the less power you give to the voice that truly matters. And here's the truth. You'll never walk boldly into your destiny if you're still addicted to approval. Some people won't understand your path. That's okay. They weren't called to. Some will criticize it. Some will mock it. Some will walk away. Let them, because destiny doesn't wait for consensus. You weren't built to be understood. You were built to be used. And sometimes being used means being misunderstood, misjudged, and even rejected. But don't let rejection stop you. Let it refine you. Let it drive you deeper into the one who called you. Because if He called you, He'll sustain you. The world might ignore you, but heaven is watching. The people around you might overlook you, but your obedience is making waves in the unseen. Every yes you say to God is pushing you closer to your purpose. Every no you say to distraction is sharpening your vision. You don't need the crowd to cheer. You need the courage to continue. Destiny is not a democratic process. It's a divine one. So stop checking how many people are clapping for you. Start checking how often you're listening to the one who called you. The world may never recognize your value, but God does. He didn't call you to be famous. He called you to be faithful. And in the end, faithfulness will take you further than fame ever could. God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. That means you don't need to have it all figured out to start. You don't need a perfect resume, flawless past, or impressive credentials. When God places a calling on your life, He does it knowing every flaw, every failure, every shortcoming you carry, and He still chooses you. He doesn't choose based on perfection. He chooses based on purpose. And once He calls you, He begins the process of equipping you. Not before, not after, but during. As you walk, He works. The problem is we often disqualify ourselves before we even begin. We look at our past and think, I've messed up too much. We look at our skills and say, I'm not ready. But God looks at you and says, you're exactly who I want. He sees potential where you see brokenness. He sees opportunity where you see limitation. He's not waiting for you to become qualified in the world's eyes. He's inviting you to trust Him enough to step forward anyway. Because it's not your strength that gets the job done. It's His power working through your surrender. Every great person in history that God used was unqualified by human standards. Moses couldn't speak clearly. David was a forgotten shepherd. Esther was an orphan. Paul was a persecutor. And yet each of them changed history because they said yes. That's what God is looking for. Not a perfect resume, just a surrendered heart, a willing spirit, a person bold enough to believe that if God called them, He would complete the work through them. The calling isn't about comfort. It's about transformation. When God calls you, He doesn't just give you a task. He shapes you for it. Every challenge you face becomes a lesson. Every battle becomes training. Every setback becomes preparation. And little by little, without even realizing it, you become what you never thought you could be. You begin to carry wisdom you didn't study for, strength you didn't know you had, and confidence that doesn't come from applause, but from knowing who sent you. When God qualifies you, no one can disqualify you, not your past, not your failures, not your fears, not even your own self-doubt. If He called you, He will cover you. If He started the work, He will finish it. But you have to move. You have to say yes. You have to trust that the God who began the story knows exactly how to bring it to life. So stop waiting to be ready. Start walking in faith. Because the truth is, God's not looking for perfection. He's looking for partnership. He'll provide the strength, the wisdom, the clarity. All He asks from you is obedience. One step at a time. One yes at a time. That's how you step into the life you were born to live.